ngākau atawhai, the heart that is gentle. Our tūpuna were gentle in so many ways. They didn't smack their pēpi or tamariki, always explaining what kids might have done wrong and what they could have done instead. They were also gentle with their words, never shouting at kids in anger or insulting them. They didn't want to damage their spirit or trample on their mana. We know how much they loved their pēpi and tamariki through the beautiful Waiata Oriori they wrote. Waiata Oriori can be translated as lullabies, but they're much more than that. These were songs, chants, or poems that our tūpuna wrote for the birth of a pēpi, or to show how much they loved them. And they are beautiful. I've got 4 facts about Waiata Oriori that you probably didn't know. Tuatahi, number 1, Oriori welcomed pēpi to te ao, to the world. Welcoming pēpi was a key part of the Oriori as a gift from the atua and their tūpuna. Waiata Oriori were written either by their parents or grandparents, who were all so proud and excited about the new pēpi. Tuarua, number 2, Oriori explained pēpi's whakapapa. Our tūpuna used Waiata, pao, which are chants, and Oriori to record their whakapapa and history. There was no written word, of course. So to explain pēpi's whakapapa, they would use pēpi's Oriori. For example, a well-known pre-European Oriori, pō, from Ngāti Porou, references some of pēpi's ancestors by name in the Oriori, but also traces the path of the kumara to Aotearoa to describe pēpi's whakapapa from far across the oceans. How wonderful to place pēpi's importance alongside the origins of the essential and delicious kumara. Tuatoru, number 3, Oriori expressed the whānau's hopes for pēpi's future. Oriori often mapped out pēpi's future according to their parents and grandparents. Always the best future they could desire. They would also say which gods would help pēpi on their life journey. The whānau would then do their best to help them achieve that great future. There's an Oriori by Hineki Tāwhiti from Tokomaru Bay to her new granddaughter, and it stresses with fierce pride how special she is and how she should be treated and how she should behave. These set the standards high. Here's a couple of lines from her long Oriori. Whakaangi I runga rā he kauhau ariki e, koi tata iho koe ki ngā wahi noa. Soar gracefully on high, O chieftainess. Do not descend too near the common places. Tua whā, number 4. Oriori let everyone know how special pēpi was to the whānau, including the pēpi and tamariki themselves. Oriori was sung either at the birth itself for the pēpi or at the tohi ceremony to introduce the pēpi to the whānau, hapu and iwi. Tamariki learned their Waiata Oriori as well to understand their whakapapa and also to understand how special they were to their whānau. Later, the Oriori was sung at hui, so everyone learned them, and everyone knew how special their tamariki were as well. Isn't that beautiful? I reckon you could write one for your pēpi or tamariki. Pick a song you know and make up some words that say how much you love your whānau. That's all it needs to be. Waiata Oriori are beautiful, but what's the main way to be gentle with our whānau like our tūpuna were? We need to love them. It's at the core of everything, really. The early explorers saw it and thought we were so proud, loving and caring. They wrote about it in their books and letters. Now we might say, oh yeah, well I do love my kids. But do our kids know that? How do they know? And how often do we tell them? Well, we could tell them we love them. Or we could smile at them whenever we see them. Or show them love with hugs, or cuddles, or kisses, shoulder squeezes, holding hands, tickle attacks, and any other way your whānau shows aroha. My mum used to hold our hands when we were walking or doing whatever, and she would squeeze 3 times for I love you. Now I'm doing that one with my tamariki too, as well as everything else. and we need to do them, even if we're having a hoha day. So take a breath and smile at your whānau and tell them you love them. Just tell them and show them you love them every day. Ngākau atawhai, the heart that is gentle. It's also the loving heart, ngākau aroha, that shares love in many ways.